that history is on the side of Trump. My very dangerous wager was, if we let him take power now, before he fully formulated his vision, maybe people will feel what he is and turn against him. Okay. There I am more of a pessimist, yes, but the key point is to see that Trump is nonetheless a symptom, a reaction to the failure of the mainstream welfare state. Here Trump is right.
He's right.
The situation in neoliberalism was American oligarchs exploiting Chinese workers. I think Trump's illusion is that, as it was often noted, that it's possible a kind of a return to the 50s, factories in the United States and so on. I think that that type of capitalism is over. But you know what really worries me? Now I move from Trump to the world. Yep. I don't quite trust Orwell's vision of 1984, but at one point he was terrifyingly right. You know the geopolitical situation in 1984. 3 big superpowers, each has its sphere of influence. Oceania, United States, United Kingdom. Then you have Eurasia and you have China. This is where we are now. That's the horror today. That's why Trump and Putin, even when they don't agree, they speak the same language. The deal is you, Trump, do what you want, more or less, with Greenland, Canada. I do what I want in Ukraine, Georgia, Georgia, and so on. And I think Europe is caught in between, divided. So I am here a pessimist in the sense that Europe not only should do it, but it's condemned to become to a superpower, to act as a superpower. Even if this means, I have no illusion about China, but even if this means at least a temporary, at the trade level, pact with China. In short term, up to a certain point, you can play this game, but in the long term, you lose. The alternative to Europe is not big sovereign United Kingdom. It's United Kingdom as de facto, in some sense, a colony of the United States. Don't know it yet, which is why, surprisingly for a leftist, I am in favor of militarization, arms, and so on. I don't believe in this pseudo-leftist bullshit. You have to choose either arms or butter or whatever. Listen, so I will surprise you even more. I think the left needs, sorry for saying this, a leftist, not dictator, but charismatic authoritarian person. They already had it. I know that they are not the same. I'm not crazy. But look at FDR, Roosevelt. He de facto ruled not as a dictator, but he was so strong that he ignored the Congress, and with investing, especially with World War II, into arms, this didn't diminish the consumerist production. In 1945, even if you take away all military production, the production of civil consumerist production was higher than ever. So if you do militarization in an intelligent way, it can help boost production. Yeah. But what Europe doesn't have is, it's not just enough to militarize. You have to have a clear political vision. Leftists whose orgasm is, my God, 1 million people on the main square all protesting. I don't care about that. What interests me is what you call, I think in English and American, the morning after. How will actual people feel the difference 3 months later, when things return to normal? And here, the new left will have to be really, in a good sense, pragmatic, in the sense of not making this crazy, nationalize this, do that, but like Chinese, allow free market, but nonetheless, control it regulated, and we have models, Singapore, China up to a point, and so on. The challenge of Europe is a very simple one. How to do this controlled market with nonetheless democracy surviving. Yeah. Because this chaos, it's tragic situation, people are aware of it, and I hope that there will be enough popular dissatisfaction in Europe with Trumpian alternative to neo-globalism, and that something out of this dissatisfaction will emerge, but the left has to get rid absolutely of first of this old welfare state social democratic dream that's over, because you end up with Keir Starmer. Can I be very brutal here? And I'm not against him personally. Isn't it that the UK has today one big center-right moderate party? It's called Labour Party, and then it has some rightist marginal parties, who said in 21, when revolution gets stuck, it's not enough to just stop and rethink situation. You have to descend back to 0 point and start to climb the mountain for a totally different direction. That's what left has to do, and I'm very open here, we don't have time to go into it. For example, enough of this postmodernism, irony, and so on. The new right took this from us. The new left should be literally neoconservative left in the sense of, yes, it's global organization, control the market, but at the same time, we should speak now for moral majority, common decency, and so on. Trump as a person, isn't he a pure postmodern relativist, making jokes of himself, changing position? Bernie Sanders is a common, decent, consistent man. I think it's time, it's horrible what I'm saying, for the left to stop with this subversive bullshit and so on. We are entering with this new Orwellian order. It's a new age of shamelessness. Big powers do what they want because they can. They don't even feel this hypocritical need to somehow justify it. That's why I always emphasize this. Don't dismiss Trump. His points about this trade imbalance, about how Europe plays its small game by always secretly relying on the American umbrella, and liberal Democrats are just, they didn't propose anything new. They just repeat the old mantra. Let's return to social democratic welfare. That will not work. The only hope is that this obvious void felt by people will give birth to something. And I'm ready to go pretty far here. This something can even be, now you have the final provocation, this something could even be a leftist Trump, when by Trump we mean somebody who acts decisively in a fast way, like Franklin Delano Roosevelt,